What's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me inside the comment box. Today is Wednesday. It is May 21st. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. Got a great show lined up for you today. Please definitely get inside the comment box and let me know where you're watching from, as I usually ask you guys to do. Yesterday, there's a lot of stuff that continues to happen. I mean, it just kind of one thing after another. And that's the beauty of covering Alabama football. I kind of feel bad, if you covered, other programs, because you don't really have a lot to talk about. With Alabama football, former coaches are winning Emmys. Alabama football continues to be highlighted really at the forefront. That's why, it's tough to kind of skate through the summertime. But with that said, there's a lot of opportunities to cover the football team. Let me give some shout outs, see where you guys are coming from inside the comment box. Good morning, of course, to Daniel Adams. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Southern Red, what's up? Kaylin DeBoss, good morning to you. Herman, always up inside the comment box. Sean Lilly, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Mike G, what's up, bro? And Mike G brings up a really good point. He's saying Ty Simpson has not really gotten love from the national media. A lot of people keep putting out their top quarterback lists, and nobody's talking about Ty just yet. Robert Bradley, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping in the raffle yesterday. Kalen Childress, always good to see you. Chad, my man, what's up, bro? Appreciate you being here. Anita Waters, what's up? I think we said what's up to Southern Red. Who else we got up in here today? Herman, of course, Max, Mike G, Sean Lilly. I think we got Ephraim. Carolyn, what's up? Good to see you. Hello from Ohio. Joe Kroons, King Riz, Robert Hell. All right. Good morning to everybody. I appreciate you guys once again. Definitely hit that thumbs up. I don't know why it works. I don't know why these things work on YouTube, but they do. So I start off with this. I just saw this morning. This is interesting. So what I have here is a graphic of some Alabama football players obviously hanging out with the youth. These players have a lot of opportunities to go back and, can you imagine? Just think back, rewind to when you were in elementary school and like some college football players came to your school. Did any come to your school? They never came to mine. But I can't even imagine how pumped up and the motivation it would give me to see Alabama football players come and just kind of give back for a little bit. So this morning, Casey Poe, who we love, by the way, who was working inside, offensive lineman, even was working at tackle for a little bit, I heard, okay? He says this, and this is so powerful, and this comes at a perfect time, right when we really get to, I think, which will be a quintessential part of the recruiting season in the summertime. And he says this, he says, recruits, find a home that will truly develop you. The opportunities I've had to serve others with the help of Alabama football, Clinton Dixon, right, you mentioned Sim, have been countless. Coach David Ballou has helped me put on 11 pounds of muscle and drop 9 pounds of fat since spring. This place is special. I mean, nail on the head. And I think when you look to guys, this is important. Casey Poe is not going to be a starter this year. Okay? He's going to play. He's a reserve right now, and the reserve is not a bad thing. But when you see the mindset and the mentality of somebody who's a reserve that is talking about the development, right? This is huge. You want guys like you know what this is called? Buy-in, right? And as Sammy says inside the comment box, this is huge for recruiting, 100%, because this guy understands the pathway to getting onto the field. He's going to get opportunities. Hell yeah. Look, can we get a thumbs up for Casey Poe inside the comment box? And you know what, Casey? Even before you came here and even before you had this to say on your social media account, Alabama football fans were so excited to get you here. And there's a lot of fans that felt that you could step on the field even last year because they understand your talent. And I respect the hell out of somebody who isn't a starter that is still talking like this and has that mindset. That's where we want these players to be. And that's kind of even showcases you from the coaches, the players, the leadership. This is where these guys are at. See, and Larry Lodge inside the comment box, same thing with a lot of guys who we don't really hear a lot about. You're like, man, didn't hear about these guys. Maybe they're going to hit the portal because we have PTSD from the portal. But, man, good stuff, Casey Poe, man. Keep doing you. Keep your head down. Keep developing. And sometimes, and a lot of times this is true in life, the people who aren't posting, the people that you don't really know about, you know why they're not doing it? Because they're dialed in. They're in the lab. They're working on themselves. They're working on their craft. So all those people that you don't really hear about, that's what they're doing. They don't have time to be doing, this and that and be messing around because they're so dialed in on their life and their craft. So Casey Poe, man, we love you. That was a hell of a message. And I think it clearly also showcases the mindset of not only you, but I think of your teammates as well. So love to see it. Good shot at Casey Poe, by the way, number 50. This is our big ticket item today. This is from Hide the Tide. We do raffles on here daily. Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash App, Bama YouTube. So you got an Alabama Tusk. This is coming from their Hide the Tide look. All this is available for purchase at Athlete's Thread. It's the camo quarter zip black hoodie. I think this is fire. It's probably one of the top ones that we've had so far. So if you want to get in, this is a $10 raffle, up to 3 tries. So jump into the raffle. And this is a good one. Yesterday we had some hats, and that was fun. It was Wits winning yesterday, but this is tight. And like I said, if you want to bypass or you don't want to do the raffle, it's cool. Remember, a portion of the proceeds goes back to the Tuscaloosa Soup Kitchen. I'm going back there this Saturday with another drop-off. So this is our last drop-off. This was about a month ago. Alex Wilder, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you becoming a fan funder. So this is about a month ago. I thought I'd be able to do it like every quarter and go back. So there's no like timeline. I just started this a month ago, literally. So if you want to chime in and get into the raffle, then join in. Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. When you guys hit the raffle, I'll notify you guys, and then we'll spin that wheel. So this is what we got today. I'll come back and I'll show it a couple times as we navigate through the show. Coach Saban, there was a lot of Coach Saban yesterday because it was Coach Saban's Knicks Kids Foundation golf tournament. And, Knicks Kids has done a lot for Tuscaloosa. Miss Terry has done a lot for Tuscaloosa and, the organization behind them, whether that's been building houses through Habitat for Humanity, this and that. I mean, honestly, they have given back so much to not only the University of Alabama, but to Tuscaloosa. Right. So I think that, it's always important to hear what he has to say. And yesterday he was talking a little bit about Ty Simpson, and he was asked by a reporter, what are your thoughts about Ty Simpson? Before we get to the Emmy, he said this: Ty was an outstanding high school player, no doubt. Right. Played at Tennessee. He didn't play at the biggest high school, but remember, he was a 5-star. He's a fine young man. I think he is an example, just as we were talking about after Casey Poe, another word of development, right? I think is an example of true. I think he is a true example of development, and that's right, because as we talk about many times when you talk about the quarterback position or talk about the world of college football right now, it's entitlement, right? And with Ty Simpson coming in, you see the mindset. Casey Poe just talking about development. Coach Saban talking about development. Ty Simpson, right? He's been in the lab, and I think it's good to see, kind of the transformation of Ty since when he got here to where he is now. I can't wait to see what he does this coming season. And you know what? I did get some nuggets on a little bit more about what happened in Vegas with the players. All positive, there's nothing negative to report. But I did hear that these quarterbacks are so close. They're like the best of friends that anybody's had. I'm talking Ty, Austin, Keelon Russell are just ultra tight. And yes, there is a heavy competition between each of those three, but these guys hang out together, eat together, compete together, practice together. They were all out in Vegas together working out with the wide receivers, and I'll have more on that, including a spotlight on the wide receiver that I'm going to spotlight today on the back end of the show. By the way, that wide receiver is from Vegas. I got Chad in, and I got Alicia Miller. I think that's Chris, right? All right, got you in 2 times for the hoodie. And then also, my goodness, Coach Saban, King Riz is like, Kyle, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, I know. I love that. I love that they coined that. But this is football. We could share a couple of the nuggets that we got. So Coach Saban was up for an Emmy. Did you guys see this? Can we get a little round of applause inside the comment box or a thumbs up for Coach Saban? Look, what do winners do in life? They win. Coach Saban won an Emmy yesterday for up-and-coming on-air personality. I'm not shocked by this. The first time, so there was a couple things. When I first saw Coach Saban breaking down some film, it was either with the university or ESPN tried it before, and it was dry. It wasn't that good. And I was like, that's really been one of the only things that I haven't been impressed with Saban doing. Of course, everybody could listen to him breaking down, film all day. But when he went and he just like became himself and just kind of let loose. Hey, Alex, man, what a super chat, bro. And he got linked up with the ESPN crew. It wasn't not yet for College Game Day, but for the NFL Draft in 2024. I was like, this is the best guy that they have on ESPN, period. He stole the entire show. And then when he went to College Game Day, I don't know why, but Pat McAfee was a little bit too high for the show. And Coach Saban got in there and they leveled each other off, and it was like this beautiful harmony. And that's I think the highest ratings that we've ever had for College Game Day. Coach Saban, and now you have Lee Corso going out. So Coach Saban, I think he said that he's scared. Let me ask you inside the comment box. Do you think that Coach Saban is now going to have to put on the mascot gear? I was thinking about this as well. All right, Alex, I got you in, man. The raffle. Do you think that he's gonna have to put on the mascot stuff? Yes or no? I don't know. It was hilarious when he put this stuff on at Penn State, but I don't think Coach Saban will do that. I don't think he will. I think he was having fun that day at Penn State. You know what they should have him do? Is they should just have Coach Saban. You know what was cool about Coach Saban? He would be singing songs. Like him and Pat McAfee would be singing to the crowd. They'd be like, take me home to a place I'd rather know, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. So, I've also been thinking about this, though, all right? College football, like having some sort of a commissioner. And this college football commission that was put together by President Trump, at first it seemed like Coach Saban was on board with it, but now it seems like he doesn't feel that there needs to be a commission, right? And he's kind of been like backtracking from that. And I don't know why, because and maybe it's just that he sees that the issues are so easy to fix and that he could just kind of give out his expertise and they could go from there. But it sounded like he doesn't really want to even be part of the commission to me. So I was thinking about this. The one thing that I'd like to see fixed in college football, and maybe he's right. Maybe it's as easy as, a couple things need to be addressed. This was the college football playoff last year, right? The thing that they need to fix is, it doesn't sound that complicated. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to fix NIL and players getting paid and all that stuff. And nobody's against players getting paid. I think it's kind of the pay for play, but you're never going to skirt around that. That's just going to exist, right? But where they can fix college football, I think, and put more guardrails around it is like making sure that the best teams get into the playoffs. Because last year, and I'm not arguing that Alabama should have been in the playoffs at all. They weren't a playoff team last year, okay? But the best teams didn't make the playoffs. And the way that the teams got into the playoffs, like there's no way that Boise State and Arizona State should have had auto bids to the quarterfinals. They don't play the same type of caliber of schedules, right? So fix that and get rid of the people in the room dictating who are the best 12 teams, right? And then also fix the transfer portal windows, right? And maybe give graduates a little bit more leeway on them having to transfer because they have graduated, right? You graduate, that's kind of like your bonus. Now you can portal surf. If you get your degree, you can portal surf. But if you haven't, you kind of slow down a little bit. I don't know, in different windows. So I don't know what Coach Saban's going to do. And I think Southern Red, you're right. It seems like he doesn't like politics. And maybe that's why, he's kind of backing out. Who knows? This was all over yesterday. And I'm sure you saw this as well. We talked about it on our Facebook page. Keelon Russell bought his mother a new Benz, right? So April Moore, she has, expressed her gratitude to the University of Alabama, how they have treated Keelon Russell, not only, from a football standpoint, but academically as well, right? Huge fan of the program. You got to keep mom happy. So yesterday, this is on social media, she posted this. She said, "To God be the glory. Thank you, son, for always making sure your mama is taken care of." So, hell of a gift for your mom. Got the nice Benz. And I saw a lot of feedback. It was mixed. Like some people were like, "Yay, way to buy your mom, a car, and this gift, taking care of your mom." And then other people were like, because there was a lot. It was if you stepped out of the Alabama ecosystem and you just looked to like general college football posts, a lot of people were like, "Man, he hasn't played a game. He's spending his money on this. He's spending his money on that." Greg Burns said that Alabama's broke, but then, people are paying yay Alabama so that players can buy, cars, whatever. I mean, look, a couple things. This young man got absolutely paid for the talent that he already is, okay? This is where we're at, okay? Those other programs that tried to lure Keelon Russell away, he got paid. We don't know how much he got paid, but there was other programs that came to try to sway him from coming to Alabama. He didn't get paid like $200,000 to come here, okay? I don't know how much this vehicle is. I don't know if they bought it. I don't know if they leased it, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't think this is a $100,000 car, okay? If this guy got paid, $7 million, $5 million, can afford a car for his mom, right? But people are always going to say stuff. I mean, look, he bought his mom a car, took care of it, and we don't know what other investments that he's making, but people were going back and forth, and some people were upset. It's like, man, you do what you want with your money, and let others do what they want to do. And if he wants to take care of his mom, who's, obviously super important to him, then that's it. But I did find this interesting. I thought this was interesting. I thought, you know what? After the car, I thought this was one of the most interesting things about this photo, and I didn't see anybody talking about it. Did anybody notice that Keelon Russell, our beloved Keelon Russell, who we love, he's wearing a Coach Prime shirt? Did anybody see this? So I looked it up. And Keelon Russell, what's up, Ballard Sports Media? Good to see you, bro. Is wearing a Prime shirt. You want the Prime shirt? It's $40. We are not raffling this today. But I just found that interesting. Am I the only one in the world that found that interesting? I didn't see that anybody else say anything. And Coach Prime's the coach of Colorado. Why is he's not wearing a Coach Kalen DeBoer shirt? Yeah, but this is a Coach Prime shirt. I don't know. I mean, Coach Prime, it's Coach Prime. I just thought that was interesting. Nobody said anything. I see things that stand out to me, whatever. And the other thing is, the last thing I'll say about this, has anybody tried to put together one of these ribbons before? We tried to put a ribbon together last year. This thing, you can order these things on Amazon because you got one of these for my son, you know, for his truck. It wasn't a brand new truck. It was my old truck when I worked for when I ran NM Preps. And we put one of these bows together. This thing was a nightmare. Larry Large is saying Prime is an icon and forever will be. Yeah. Chad Kennedy's like, I will not enter this raffle. All right, so don't get the don't try to put one of these together. All right, I told you guys. You heard it here first. All right, Dave Pollock recently said that he's calling for a rookie salary cap, and I follow this based off, you know, after Keelon Russell buys a car for his mom. Let me ask you this inside the comment box: should there be a rookie salary cap? Rookie meaning true freshman. Should true freshmen only make X amount their first year? Yes or no? I thought about this for a long time. I'll answer after you guys put some stuff together. Yes or no, should rookies, freshmen, have a salary cap? Sean is saying yes. Carolyn's saying yes. It's me, Marvin's like, David Pollock's a hater. Nope. Yes. Yes. I say no. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know if you can limit this. I'd have to think more about it. I mean, there's a lot more yeses, and I use you guys as my chat GPT, I guess. But like West Coastin saying inside the comment box, and this is why I'm kind of leading towards no. What are you going to tell Ryan Williams? That's it. Okay, you get a player of that caliber. You get a player like Keelon Russell. What are you going to say? Come over here for, I don't know, $100,000. But if that's the cap, then the player can maybe focus on, you know, which school is really the best fit for him. I don't know. I'm with you, Anita. That is hard to control. Alex Wilder is like, if not a freaking cap on some of the contracts together. Mike G say no. Pay fair market value. To see, Daniel Adams says kind of what I'm thinking too, man. You are what you are worth. I don't know. I'm gonna say no, but that's, you know, I'd like to kind of dive into that more. Interesting to think about. So who knows what will happen? Again, this is our Wednesday raffle today. It's our big ticket item of the week. It's the Alabama Tusk Camo Quarter Zip Black Hoodie. You can get these at Athlete's Thread. This is part of the Hide the Tide collection, inspired by Ty Simpson and Bray Hubbard, two of our guys who like to obviously get out in the outdoors. I heard one of the most addicting things that you can do is start turkey hunting. Look, I have a lot of friends that turkey hunt, and you do not hear from these guys once turkey season hits. I have not gone ever. But these guys, man, they tell me, because, you know, I'm hooked on golf, of course. But these guys who are hooked on turkey hunting, it's crazy. It's like all they can think about. All right, so to get into this particular raffle today, which I think is absolutely fire, Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash App Bama YouTube. They also put out a new, do we like, I'll show you guys tomorrow. They put out a new, they put this out camo-wise, right, on Athlete's Thread. But instead of like the green and black, the camo that we're used to, they did it with blue. It's like blue and white. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. So I'll leave this up, and if we don't hit, quota today, we'll roll it over to tomorrow. So this is the Alabama Tusk quarter zip black hoodie. I think this one's tight. This might be my favorite. This is my favorite one so far. I'd pair this up with like that green hat. All right. I was talking to a source yesterday. We were talking about Derek Meadows, and kind of went back and forth yesterday about, the height of Derek Meadows. So Derek Meadows is 6'6", okay? And I heard such great things about him, and I wanted to highlight him because I think sometimes he gets, Dan Caraway, I got you with the raffle, bro. He gets lost in the shuffle because of the spring season that Lazier Brooks had. And Lazier Brooks and Derek Meadows coming to Alabama in the class of 2025, that shows you and kind of sets the tone for how these Alabama wide receivers are going to be coming in under Ryan Grubb and Keelon DeBoer. Okay. I heard some amazing things about Derek Meadows. And one of the things about Derek Meadows that I think you've heard before, if you're really dialed in and you have kind of a microscope on the team and stuff like that, one of the things that I heard was that Derek Meadows, for being 6'6", and Coach Keelon DeBoer was like, he's not hard to find out there. And consequently, on the other side, Lazier Brooks, you can't find him, right? Is Lazier Brooks like 5'10"? This man right here, all right, I got some images, some footage that I'll roll throughout, the next week, throughout the summertime of these guys working out in Vegas. And I don't look, Derek. So first of all, Derek Meadows will not be a tight end. He's a wide receiver. He has shiftiness. Like, he can move. I'm telling you, I watched footage of this young man running routes, and it is ultra impressive. And in fact, Derek Meadows even caught my eye during the 8-day practice when it was available for everybody to go there. I disagree, JTL. I think Derek Meadows will play at Alabama. I'm telling you, man. I think he will play, and I think he'll be. I don't know how much he'll play this year. Is because it's going to be really hard to keep off, the big 4 or 5. But Derek Meadows will play. A very good wide receiver. And thinking about it, a lot of these guys went out to Vegas. You got Jeremy Bernard from there. Derek Meadows from there. But I think it'll be Ryan Williams. Now I think Jeremy Bernard will be second in yards after talking to a source. I think Isaiah Horton will still be up there. I think Rico Scott will absolutely get fed. I think Jalen Hell, Lazier Brooks, those will be other guys that contribute as well. The one wide receiver that I still haven't heard a lot about is Bubba Hampton. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, sometimes I hear stuff on players, sometimes I don't. But yeah, Derek Meadows, man, I just wanted to highlight him. So as you're going over like your preseason information, look, I have no idea how much he plays this year. I think he will play in different situations. But watching him run routes yesterday and some footage that I got, I left impressed. Now, he will play wide receiver. Now, the one player that I felt should have stayed tight end is 100 million % Caleb Odom. Caleb Odom should have stayed at tight end, and if he would have stayed at tight end, he would have been starting here, in my opinion, as a tight end this year. He left too early. Cole will definitely play this year. Yeah, Cole will get fed. I just don't know about Bubba. But, yeah, Cole's going to do his thing. All right, Lisa, we got you in the super chat as well. Appreciate you. 3 times. Dan Caraway, we got Elisa Miller twice, Alex Wilder 3 times, Dan Caraway, and Lisa 3 times. We talked about David Blue. Remember, so if you missed the SEC documentary that was actually put together by Alabama, it will be showcasing Friday night. I think it's at 6 p.m. So if you missed the watch on Monday night, they'll be showing it again on Friday night. I talked about this yesterday, but I wanted to go. Oh, in case you missed this yesterday, this is my two beautiful kids. Lacey cleaned up with 2 awards yesterday. Caden, 2 awards the week before. This is him in spring football here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So, father first. These are my beautiful kids who I'm so proud about. So I often talk about my kids. The other thing is, while we're talking about height, and I mentioned this yesterday, but will you go and here's your homework. Darren, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Oh, Herman says the docuseries, the documentary will be again Friday at 8 p.m. on SEC Network. Dan Caraway, I got you in again, bro. Thank you. So you got Jordan Edmonds right here. You got Dejon Lee, right? And you got Cam Calhoun. I don't know who the 4th player is, but they're working out with a trainer out in Atlanta, Georgia, right? So we went from Vegas where the wide receivers and the quarterbacks are working, and you go to Atlanta where the DBs are working. And I mean, you got to think about the entire secondary. I don't know. Look, I think the wide receivers are the best unit on the team, but the secondary collectively might be next. And then the inside linebackers, I mean, you can talk about them all day long, right? With the experience that they have coming back. I mean, really all the units completely solid. The running backs look great. Yeah, Chad Kennedy, I got you in there twice, bro. Let me ask you, who do you think, what unit is the best on this team? Unit, what I mean by unit is like quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, defensive line. Dude, plain truth, I think, how tall is Dejon Lee, bro? Because Jordan Edmonds, so if you're like, who the hell is Jordan Edmonds, Kyle? He's committed to Alabama at this point in time for the class of 2026. And Dejon Lee, they have him at 6'4". I don't know. he looks like he might be 6'5". I don't know. We'd be switching him to the other side of the ball. All right, the best unit, we say Mike G says wide receivers. Larry, so it's hands down the wide receivers. Okay. West Coast and at Dejon Lee's at 6'4". Yeah, that's what I have him at too. Southern Red mentions nobody's talking about the special teams. That's the one area that I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about the special teams, but that's just me. Max Tooney saying today's raffle is a handicapper's nightmare. All right, let me get. I'm gonna add the comments on the screen. That's one of the things that I didn't do earlier in the show. And I'll take a couple Q&As. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right. Actually, I can do this on the screen. So if you have a question that you want me to answer on the back end of the show, which is now, go ahead and post it inside the comment box. And then tomorrow, I think that we will have a call-in show. So we'll do the call-in show tomorrow. So write that down in your calendar, and we'll do a call-in show. But if you have a question for me right now is a good time to add it, and I'll get your comments on the screen. I love the opening with Casey Poe talking about development. All right, let's see what Bama Hater has to say. What's up, Bama Hater? Good morning to you, brother. Says, Kyle, how much trust do you have in the quarterback that has to get the ball to all the wide receivers you're talking about? After blame all the L's, I guarantee Bama fans will be wishing for Milroe. No. You know, I talked about these yesterday. I appreciate the question, Bama Hater. Thank you so much, man. Bama hater is a Miami fan, by the way. You know, Ty Simpson doesn't have to do everything. Ty Simpson just has to be who Ty Simpson is. And I think that was a big difference between Milroe and Ty Simpson. I think Milroe, you know, being the athlete that he is and what he's capable of doing just individually, probably took on too much and probably tried to do too much by himself. And look, some of the things that he did were amazing. It didn't work out for Alabama in the end. I think if Ty Simpson works with Brian Grubb and just simply gets the ball to these elite wide receivers, and Alabama plays smart within the red zone. And what I mean by smart in the red zone, even if you're in the 10 yards out, feed these running backs. You know, kick it out to one of your new tight ends that you got here. But I don't think you have to have Ty Simpson do like everything. I think things will work together if, you know, they just kind of sink in with Ryan Grubb. Because I think Ryan Grubb will be the true difference maker out of everybody that has been added to this team. He is the guy that will really transform this team in year 2. That's my prediction. The scary thing is how long does somebody like that stay? But I don't want to scare you guys. All right, King Grizz, did you have a question for me? I might have missed it, man. Ask it again inside the comment box. Mike G says, Bama fans glad that Milroe was gone. Wish him the best. By the way, Milroe just got paid yesterday, right? His official contract came out. 4 years, $6.2 million. So that's what Jalen Milroe was making with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm excited to see how it works out for him. I truly am. Look, he's going out to the division that the 49ers and the Seahawks meet 2 times every single year. Seahawks are tough to deal with. You also got Robbie Oots out there. I don't want to have to be tackling Robbie Oots, right? I appreciate you, Alex. Thanks, bro. Mike G, one more time. This is Mike G. Is Mike G out in Austin. He says Ty Simpson just needs to manage the game. Take care. Yeah, you know what? That might be it. He just needs to manage it. And manage and kind of let the athletes do the job themselves, because they have so much talent on this team on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think fans are going to be, begging for Milroe. I don't. Sorry, Bama hater. All right, King Riz says, have you heard anything on the development of running backs aside from Jam Miller? Yeah, one of the names that I heard about, Kevin Riley. Kevin Riley is kind of a running back that's in the back of the line right now, being that this is his second year. He's out of Tuscaloosa County High School, so he's another home guy to root for. I would watch for him in terms of being one of the most shifty running backs, and that was according to Coach Keelon Russell. You have Daniel Hill, right, who's kind of, I think he'll get playing time this year. And did anybody see this on social media? A.K. Deere, who was already here this spring, went back to his home high school, and he graduated last weekend. That's how young these guys are, man. And they're getting opportunities, during the springtime. That's amazing. Love to see it. A.K. Deere, heard really good things about him as well. He's a back that was such a great addition to this class. And I think if you're able to get Xavier Crowell, man, can you think about the future of the Alabama running back room, right? So Richard Young's there. Jam Miller, I think those will be your 2 featured backs. Daniel Hill will get his. And A.K. Deere is where we want him to be. And don't sleep on Kevin Riley. Everyone thought that Kevin Riley was going to leave. Man, it was cool, but because I follow A.K. Deere on Instagram. So he went back to his high school and graduated. And clearly he probably graduated before, right? Otherwise he couldn't be at Alabama, but he went to the ceremony. That's what I mean. Talking about Nick Sheridan, Daniel Adams inside the comment box. This guy had a tough job last year. This guy, he was coming here, Nick Sheridan, Alabama's offensive coordinator last year. Remember, he was coming here to be the tight ends coach. And he came here, and he had to be the offensive coordinator. I think the job was way above his head. There were some games that I thought he had some good rhythm in the beginning, right? The scripted plays, but I think overall it was just too much for him. Daniel Smith talks about, he's asking about Richard Young. Yeah, Richard Young, I think, should have a really strong season this year. In this documentary that you watch on Friday, you'll see someone absolutely smash Richard Young, which was really wild to see for me. But it was Bray Hubbard. I'm telling you, Bray Hubbard came like a missile and just absolutely lays out Richard Young, which is crazy because Richard Young is grown. If you want to follow me on Instagram, just Mr. Kyle Henderson. King Grizz, what's up, bro? I appreciate the questions. Have you heard anything on Keelan Keeley and Yanze Pierre? Look, Yanze Pierre, man, what a talent. And I think everybody was relieved to see that Keelon Keeley didn't hit the transfer portal. That was kind of always the narrative. I don't even know where that came from. We made that up in our mind. You look at that the bandit position. We'll start first with Keelon Keeley. There's a lot of Keons, right? You have LT Overton, and I'm not sure what they'll do, but I would imagine that Keelon Keeley might be second team at that bandit position, so he'll get a lot of playing time this year. And I don't know what it was, why he didn't play that much last year. And then regarding Yanze Pierre, from what I saw during Alabama's practice, that open practice that anybody in the world could see, after Quay Rousseau came off the field, it was Yanze Pierre that was second. But you have Jamirian Lathan coming back as well, right? He's the only player on the roster that was a part of that 2020 team, which is crazy to think about. Robert Bradley, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for following. Hey, what do you guys think about? Should the tush push be? Are we for or against the tush push? Let me ask you this: should the tush push be banned? Yes or no? I'm gonna say no. Patriot Life, what's up, bro? Today's raffle right here on screen. Bama_YouTube, $10 up to 3 tries, or Cash App Bama YouTube. Should the tush push be banned? I don't know. It's only 1 yard. I'm going to say no, right? It's just 1 yard. It's me. Marvin's like, yeah, for every other team. Okay, so a lot of no's. Dan Carraway says that Keelon Keeley is the fastest lineman on NCAA. Keelon Keeley on the video game was an absolute menace for me. He seriously, he made so many tackles. It was absolutely crazy. You know who else was a beast? Man, damn, I even forgot his name. He transferred to Vanderbilt. Why is this slipping my mind? Man, these guys leave and you don't even remember them. Help me out, fam. He was a defensive player that transferred to Vanderbilt. How? This is like spacing me. Three times today. 3 times. I got you in 2 times, Chad. And I'm going to run this, since this is big ticket too, I'm going to run this over to tomorrow too. So don't get nervous, man. No, not Amos. Yeah, Keanu Code. Thank you. Keanu Code on this video game was an absolute tear. Alex, I got you in 3 times, bro. Amos should have stayed. Amos, that was last year. But, man, once you leave Alabama, I'm serious. It's crazy, but bye. Oh, so breaking news, the tush push has not been banned? That's just out? I mean, it's 1 yard. If you don't want 1 yard, don't put yourself in that situation. That's kind of how I see it. Oh man. I know I couldn't believe that I forgot about him, but once these guys leave other places, you never hear about them again. It's wild. It's funny. All right. This was our Prime shirt earlier talking because we caught Keelon Russell wearing a Prime shirt. I don't know anybody else saw that. I saw it, thought it was hilarious. Army 3275 says, does anybody remember Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl? Oh, yeah, I remember Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl. You couldn't stop him or Marcus Allen. The Raiders on their team were crazy. Tecmo Bowl, we have Tecmo Bowl. What, you guys want to see something? Give me 1 second. Watch this. See if I can get it. Make the reach over here. No, so we still have the old system. Does anybody remember this? Look at this. Super Tecmo Bowl. On the NES. We still have it. But the thing I was thinking about, and we're on the back end of the show, so this is where we kind of just kick it. So if you have questions, you have comments, throw them in. We're just about wrapped up, and we'll do the raffle tomorrow. We'll carry over. Yeah, Patriot Life, I got you in. I got Chad Kennedy, Alicia Miller, Alex Wilder, Dan Caraway, Lisa, Dan Caraway again, Patriot Life. See, no, this is what I was just gonna say. Oh, Christian Okoye, you know what? He was an absolute. He was the hardest to tackle. You couldn't tackle him. Remember, you tried to tackle him and you fly away. But this is the craziest thing. This is what I don't understand, fam. Because we didn't have social media at this point. So let me ask you this before I demonstrate. You sound off inside the comment box, okay? If you were playing this game and you, God forbid, if you put it in and it did not work, what did you do? What did you do? Sound off inside the comment box. What did you do to get this game to work properly again? If you put it in and the screen came up blank. See, and everybody's going to answer correctly, but I don't understand how this method went worldwide, because anybody that you talk to in the country understands what you got to do. Exactly. You would do this. But you know what would work even better? Yeah, see? Blow on it. Yeah, you will blow on it. And it clearly says on the back, well, not this one. But see, you will blow on it. But what I don't understand is, how did everybody learn that? You see, everybody saying it. So look, but this is what would really work. You would get your shirt, right? And you would put your shirt over it and you would blow it like this. Do you remember? How did we all know that? I don't get it. I still don't understand how everybody in the world knew it, but we didn't have social media. I don't know. That was wild. We didn't have like ChatGPT. It just was like instinctual. We're like, this isn't working. Blow on it. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so funny. All right. No, King Riz, it said do not blow on this. Kyle, a Bama hater wants me to be a guest on his show. Oh man, I don't really do guest appearance that much, bro. But I'll think about it, bro. You've been good people here. Tyson's Punch Out. We have a bunch of games here. All right. Well, friends, we will do the raffle tomorrow. I will run it one more day. I appreciate you guys being here for the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Stay where your feet are at. If you guys haven't seen, by the way, it's picking up a little bit of steam. My men's devotional. Check it out. I'll put the link inside the comment box right now. And if you're not a part of our Bama football Facebook page, I'll put that inside the comment box as well. Just kind of news as it happens. Another way to connect. all the news comes right here. Breaking news, stuff like that, here first. And then we kind of, siphon it out to our other social channels. You can follow me on Instagram, just my personal, literally. I post about my kids. I post golf. I post my workout stuff, inspirational stuff, whatever. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for being here and spending Wednesday morning with me. I know it's May 21. We'll get you to the season. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for being here. Stay blessed. Stay where your feet are at. And if you have won a raffle in the past, it takes us a little bit of time to ship the gear out to you. But if you do have questions, you could always email me, and I'll send you a screenshot if I have one of the shipping information. So don't feel like you can't reach out to me. This is my email. Cool. I appreciate you guys. Stay blessed. Stay where your feet are at. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Anderson of Bama Football on YouTube. See you guys.